Hi everybody, I'm Sarah and welcome to the Big Blue House Homestead. It's a very busy day today and I am doing multiple videos because I have a lot going on. I'm getting ready to get hit with a storm, so I'm not going to transplant some of my smaller stuff, but I am going to work on potting up my cucumbers. I have a humongous stack of buckets here. Let's see if I can lift this up. Yeah, huge stack. That's only one of two. I was gifted these from my oldest son's girlfriend. Her grandparents used to garden and they've just gotten into a point where they can't anymore. And so she asked me if I wanted these. She also gave me boxes of mason jars, which I was excited about too. And so what I've actually done is I've decided when I grow things this year, because they're not gardening anymore, I'm going to make sure that she comes by and picks up some produce here and there when they need it. Last year I gave them all sorts of stuff. I was so thankful for the offers and giving me the buckets. But this is the first year that I am actually growing in buckets like this. I do a lot of my herbs in containers, in big pots, and I do a lot of my lettuces in pots, but I don't really do much else. And my problem is I have this tray of cucumbers and they need to get planted. They are very, very yellow because their root systems have gotten humongous. Check this out. Look at that root system. So these guys are ready to go into the ground, but I am not going to plant them in the ground. I have struggled every year that I have lived here. This is my third year growing cucumbers. Every year that I've put them out, it's got nothing to do with the heat or anything like that. There's something in the soil that gives them a disease, and they get the powdery mildews, they start to yellow, they get black spotting, and they never really grow. And I've done fertilizers, I've done different types of soils, I've done everything that I can. I mean, I'll dig a hole this deep and fill it and then put that in there, but something with everything else coming in just diseases them. And I have not been able to successfully grow cucumbers. I am bound and determined this year to get cucumbers, because last year I think I got 18 only. That was it, just 18, which gave us, a few jars of pickles and a couple fresh eating for salads, and then I made some relish. But I want to fill my pantry with pickles and relish, and I want to eat the cucumbers, and I have other recipes I do with cucumbers that I want to share, and so I want to get as many as possible. I counted the plants that I have here and I have 39, but the size of these buckets, let me show you. With the size of these buckets, I should be able to put 2 plants in each one, and then I have all the remesh set up in the garden to be able to put the buckets in front of, and then I don't have to worry about digging holes and putting dirt down. And maybe this will be my year for cucumbers. I do have some that I'm going to put into my arch trellises on my raised beds, because I'm growing like a white wonder cucumber. It's a smaller white one, and that's kind of fun. And then I got seeds. My dad actually sent me some seeds. He was afraid that I was killing my squash off during the frost time. So he wanted to make sure that I had enough seed for more squash in case I needed them, and I was struggling to find squash seeds locally. So he sent me a bunch from his seed repository, as he calls it. And what I got in there was some surprises. I didn't just get the squash, he also sent me some cucumbers that are bush cucumbers. And I have never seen a bush cucumber, ever. So I want to plant some of those out in the garden space and see what they do, because, I mean, a bush is a bush, but cucumber's vine, and I have no clue. I've never seen a bush cucumber. So I'm going to plant some of those, but I'm going to put mainly those into the raised bed area and then into the tilled side over here, not the area that I had before, because I'm afraid they'll struggle there. So we'll work that out. But I've got to get these potted up. I also have my eggplants, which I haven't up potted yet, but you can see I have like 2 growing in each one, and I need to get those into smaller pots. And I'm just going to use my small stack pots like these. I put my eggplants in my garden last. It's one of the final things that I put in after I do everything else, and that's because I want to give them time to grow and establish and get bigger. So it's time to up pot them, because they'll probably go in like a week or 2, and when I put those out into the garden, they'll grow nicely. But I've got to up pot. And then I've got some more tomatoes, and I've got some squash plants, and then the tray of tomatoes that I saved for my neighbor. He is not currently going to do the garden right away. He's a little behind on it, and he's working on some other projects. But I told him I would keep, sorry, I have one hair that keeps blowing on me. Oh, sorry. But I told him that I would take care of the plants for him, so I'm going to put a lot of those into pots as well. And that way, if anything, if he doesn't take them, I have them here, and I'm just going to line them up against my fence line. And then I have a place to trellis them, and I'll have extra tomato plants. So happy about that. But I did want to show you this real quick. When I was transplanting tomatoes out in the garden the other day, I told you I broke that one and it wasn't doing too well. Well, it's perking back up really nicely. It's only been 24 hours, so I think maybe in another day it'll be even better. But I don't want to put this one in the garden. I've already set up a space and planted those in the area that I was putting them in, and it's a beef master. So I'm just going to put that one in a pot today, and that way, well, not today, I think I'm going to wait a couple more days on it, and then I'm going to put it in a pot and I'll just put it in with these other tomatoes. Other than that, that's about all that I have going on. I actually am going to try to stretch my soil as much as possible because I have a lot of these pots and stuff. So I'm going to actually take them over to my compost because I do have a section of compost that's really nice. Some of the straw hasn't broken down on the top yet, but the underneath is really good. So I'm going to fill these buckets with some compost first, and then I'll put the dirt on top, and then I'll plant, and eventually that will all just become, you know, one united group of composting glory. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's going to feed the cucumbers, and hopefully they grow even better that way. So today is up potting, and planting in buckets. I'm going to be out here busy. Girls laying eggs. But I'm going to be out here busy all day today. I have a lot to get done. I still have tomatoes to finish up. I was planting sunflower seeds already today, and then after that, I've got other things that I can possibly put in. I'm just kind of weary because of this storm coming through. So we'll see, but I'm going to get things done. Okay, so you can see where I actually planted these cucumbers. That's not the only bucket. In fact, if I lean upward, you can see all the white buckets in the back. I did forget one remesh, but I have some more cucumbers to put out, so that'll be fine. But I also planted all the last of my tomatoes, except for one little set, because somehow I forgot them. I think it's because they were out of the way. And it's been hot. Been doing a lot. I've been out here working pretty hard. Okay, so as you see, I'm kind of a mess because I have been out here all day. A lot of people say you need to plant in the mornings. I need to plant in the evenings when it's not hot. Did you just knock down plants? All right, I gotta go save plants. Hold on. Too sunny. I swear some days, Chi-Chi is a handful. And I show you guys a little bit here and there, but he just knocked down the last of my cucumbers. And the only way to appease him from not jumping on the rest of my plants on the table was to give him a pile of dirt to scratch around in. So maybe he'll be happy. But anyway, I was saying that a lot of people will say that you need to plant in the mornings or in the evenings when the sun isn't at its highest. But reality is I'm a month behind on my garden, and I have to get all these plants in. Otherwise, I have not enough time to grow them. I'll start losing cucumbers middle of June, tomatoes June, July, things like that. So I have to get those in, get them big, get them established, get them growing as quick as possible. So I have to work all day. And I do wear big brimmed hats or an Amish bonnet. I keep myself covered in sunscreen, and I always wear a long shirt, and a lot of times I have a cooling rag to, you know, help out too. But I take a lot of breaks in between. So like today, I mean, reality here is today I have been working since 9 o'clock this morning, and it is now 5, and I have to go cook dinner. So I was going to wrap this up quick so that I could get in and get the kids fed. But I have worked all day planting, and I planted sunflowers, cucumbers, the rest of the tomatoes. I put in some more beans because I was filling in some spots, and I was repotting some more of my plants. And so as soon as that's all done tomorrow, I can say that I'm done with the phase 2 of the garden. And then the last is peppers, eggplants, and flowers, and a few odds and ends here and there. But you got to do what you got to do to get your garden going. And so I'm just going to work my tail off until I get it all finished. Okay, so with everybody gardening for the first time this year, I have expanded my garden a lot. I have grown more food than I normally do. And I probably said it, and I just want to make sure that it's known. I'm not growing it all to preserve every bit of it. I want to support our local food banks because I have the space and the effort. And A long time ago, they released a documentary called The Wartime Kitchen Garden. It's a really great documentary if you want to watch it. It's all about, during the war, how in Britain they took over the gardeners and made them grow food because there wasn't enough food going around. So interesting documentary, but the reality is I learned a lot from that, and I took in my heart that piece that says that I need to help out. And I didn't think the government was going to come through right now and take people's gardens and say you have to grow food. But if I'm already growing food and lots of it and more than I need, well, then I'm just going to share. That's what I got from it, was that I can do this. I have the ability, so I'm going to. So anyway, I got a little bit more to do. I'm going to finish up the last of this little stuff, get the kids fed, and then I'll come back out and work even longer, I'm sure. But got to get it done, So you can't tell, I'm a little tired. It's been a long day. Lots of heat, lots of sun. Tired day. Part of being a gardener, I guess, or a homesteader, or a farmer, or even, a person, just in general. So thank you guys for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you like what you see, please hit the thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I'm trying really hard to put out as much content as I can, and I could really appreciate all the support I could get from the people that watch. Leave a comment below and I'll answer it as soon as I can. I apologize if I don't answer comments right away. It takes me a little bit of time because of my internet, but I'll get that worked out eventually and things will work out fine, and we can do the whole one-on-one back and forth. So again, thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.